I wanna celebrate some of y'all today. Leon, I want congrats.
Yo,
I want to congrats. What up, Sarah? I want to congrats to Leon because look, this is what's good about this stuff being intimate, and it's not like a group call of like 50 to 100 people. So right now we can really be personal, which I love. Leon,
yeah,
congrats, man.
thank you, bro.
You had a first. Leon had a first round TKO. He won his first professional boxing match, and yeah, man, well done. How's that feel?
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, man, it was a hectic experience. Like, the whole build up of the fight, the 8 week camp, everything. You're holding so much emotion and nervous energy that you sort of keep in with yourself because you got to sort of hold it all together. And all the new stuff with like the promotions and stuff. Doing all the promo videos for Instagram for like the promotion of the actual company. Um, you know, with the way they're promoting the fight, that someone's going to get knocked out because the guy was fighting had come off 2 knockout wins. So it was like a lot of emotion you were holding in, and then to go out and do that in my first pro fight and make a statement like that in front of the sold out crowd was
My man.
just I was overcome with emotion. Like haven't felt a feel like that ever. Like it was, you know. I was riding the high. I didn't sleep till 5 a.m. the next morning. Like I was just like stuck on Instagram watching my stories a million times. I'm
Yeah.
sick of watching the knockout now. And then yeah, it was just took me a few days to actually recover like emotionally from it. Like it was like an emotional hangover. Like even though I didn't take any damage through the fight, it was like the next few days, like I was just like sort of felt just like real mellow and like was very like no energy, everything like that. But now we're feeling good again and work's been good. Like feel full of energy again, which is it's always a good thing. Oh yeah, it was an amazing night, right through. Yeah,
Well done. And then that what you
thank
experience,
you.
like the high of all that dopamine, that's very common for people to
Mm,
experience. Some of you guys, if you ever achieve something great, like in achievements I've had in my life, like often you'll have this high of dopamine, and then post that you can experience this. Like there's
mm,
a neurobiological explanation to this, and this is like a very strong peak can subsequently then come after that quite a strong like trough of dopamine, and so that mellowness, that
yeah,
apathy, uh, can be actually quite normal.
yeah,
But the really thing is for you guys is you focus on becoming a better person. Like business, cool. Money, cool. Helping clients, amazing. Becoming more skilled, the most important. But even the most important is who you are as a person. And whether it's sport, like boxing, whether it's becoming a mother and children, having children, like Sage and many of you will have, you know, I really want to hold the culture and the ethos here within Zion and Trinity to be one that prioritizes who you are as people first. And I want you guys to know that me and the people in here are here for you guys on that level. And so, you know, that's why one reason I want to celebrate that. So
mm,
put in the, not to distract everybody because they're gonna watch it. I'm gonna put a link of the video in the chat for people to see. Mauricio, he also boxes and he's got a fight coming up too in about 6 weeks. So you guys might get along right well.
oh man, beautiful.
Yeah, he's the one with the Terminator glasses. You know, you don't want to mess with
Sorry,
him.
I'm in 7-Eleven buying some caffeine, but yeah, it's just an interclub.
Yeah, man. Hey,
No
get it
profile
in
like
there.
you.
Whether it's a fucking pro fight or an interclub, it's still that same nervous energy. Like it's just
Yeah,
like, but as soon as that bell rings, it's like everything goes out. Like it's like all that nervous energy. Just your body knows exactly what to do. It's quite wild. Like before the fight, you think like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in there. Like what happens if I don't switch on and everything like that, and then you just sort of be present. As soon as the bell rings, it's like muscle memory takes over, and you're just you're calm in there. It's an amazing thing. So you'll have fun. You'll love it. Enjoy it.
thank you. Yeah, it's my second one. The first one, I felt the same thing, that emotional dump after. Um, yours probably higher stakes, obviously, but I can relate. I can relate to
Yeah.
that
And
feeling of the
mm,
next week. You're not the same.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
the same.
And bit of advice my coach gave me is just punch him more than he punches you. So that's all you have to do.
Yeah, bro. That's, that's simple but effective. All right, y'all. Uh, also, like a win, Kirby. You now well in the game now. Welcome to the game. Welcome to getting those wins with that first client of yours, and really now starting to solidify yourself, starting in this commercial gym. You know, we all started somewhere, and no matter what your starting point is, you want to acknowledge and celebrate that. So Kirby, this will be a long but fruitful journey for you. So I just want to say, just acknowledge, like, good job, man. Like, now it begins. The door is open.
Thank you heaps. I really appreciate it. It's been a good start so far.
Yeah.
I'm good with people, but it's just about learning sort of what you've been teaching and putting it all together.
Well, as your questions come up, like, put them in here, and I'll support. And all right, and also, like, on a business note, like Sage, so, you know, some people, you guys take take payment on the calls when you're with clients. You know, you're on a call with a prospect, and the goal is to help them. And then, all right, you want to get started? Okay, we take the payment on the call instead of after. That's very standard nowadays. I didn't used to do it, and it can be quite a little bit daunting in the beginning when you haven't done it before. It's like, some resistance might come up inside of you. But regardless of the outcome, Sage, I want to acknowledge that you did that. And how did, for those who have struggled with that, how did you overcome that challenge of, like, okay, the next step is payment, right? How did you briefly, overcome that? Sage, you got me? You hear me?
Oh, I thought you were asking people that are like confident in doing it.
No, you. Yeah, you're a
On
great
me.
example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not confident in doing it.
But you did it in spite of, like, that, which is the thing
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge.
Yeah. I was like, well, at some point I'm gonna have to do it. So yeah, I kind of just like bit the bullet and did it. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, I think the worst thing that she could say is no. So yeah, I just kind of like went for it. But I did want to ask, like, when you are taking payment on the call, because so I take payment through Nui. You know what Nui?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got it.
When you sign up, like, as a client and you're looking at it, it says my terms and conditions on there. So like 12-week minimum, like 3-week cancellation period, that kind of thing. But obviously when I'm signing someone up over a call, they can't see that. So should I be like relaying all that information at the same time?
Yeah, it's a great question. So what you don't want to do is make it so convoluted where you're saying terms and conditions for like a minute straight. You just want to communicate the most important things that someone might have resistance to.
Yeah.
For example, so it's you explain the features, the coaching, what it entails. It's $200 up front, then it goes into $79 a week, 12-week minimum. You just dot point mention the most important thing. I wouldn't be worried about a cancellation period. I'd be worried about the things that give people resistance on the upfront, which is the minimum terms. I'd communicate that and any other things that might be sticking points for the client, where they might come to you and say, okay, let me think about it. Because some people can have resistance to like a minimum terms. So I'd communicate that on the upfront.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I didn't say the minimum terms, and then it was a few days later that she then like wanted to cancel, and then she was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know about the minimum terms," even though it was emailed to her after. But
what did you say to that?
I said that like you would have received an email that outlined the terms and conditions. I also sent her like the another document that says my terms and conditions and everything. But I was like, as a gesture of goodwill, like I'll cancel everything for you. And then she said she was really appreciative and said that she would love to come back at a later date. But
Okay, what? So her problem was the minimum terms. Do you know what
it wasn't
specifically?
the minimum terms. No, it was more like so she's like 9 months postpartum, and then she got on the call because she felt like she needed to get a coach, but she didn't really have a goal. Like she didn't know what her goal was. She was like, oh, I'd like to build a bit of strength. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like, what else do you want to do? And she's like, oh, I don't really know. And then I think she went away from that call being like, what am I actually doing this for?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's when I got like, we were halfway through our first week and I'd given her a training program and all the stuff. And then, yeah, she was kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. So,
Okay.
yeah. And then that's when she was like, oh, I didn't know about the 12 weeks.
Okay. There's a couple things here. I've had clients, by the way, like that who've like been a bit uncertain and ambiguous with their goals. You can actually do something about that. Dream outcome landing page. Minimum terms. I used to do minimum terms 3 months and 6 months. If it's a barrier, if you're noticing it a barrier, I would waive it. It's no longer obvious to me that you guys need to keep minimum terms. And the reason is because if you're attracting people that have the psychology that they are often have buyer's remorse, they buy emotionally and often cancel things, it's a little flag that you could be attracting maybe the wrong type of person. But not only that, if people cancel within 12 weeks, that's really, really good feedback for you. And it can be enough of a barrier for somebody to join because people can feel like they're being controlled and held into something that they may not feel that they want to be held into. So then they won't make a decision at all. A decision will be not to do it. And so while I totally get that you guys don't want to be in a situation where you have to have a client churn out within 12 weeks, like you found, you didn't hold it to the minimum terms and you didn't charge it for the rest of the time, right? And I haven't done that either, even though I've had many clients leave within the first 12 weeks. Like, I've been where all of you have been. And it's a normal part of the growing pains of working in a business or coaching people. Instead, every time a client, like this right here, this is really good because we're going to plug this hole for you. One hole is always take responsibility. I'm not saying you didn't, but we always want to take responsibility that even though we sent the document, like we sent this, it's like, if it's the first time it's happened, just assume responsibility that we didn't make it clear enough. So, there could be something clearer within that minimum terms. How you do that? Well, that can be on your landing page. So for all of you, you guys should have a landing page. As an example of mine, that I'll share my screen right now. All right. I mistakenly, you guys see that, right? Oops. Oh, that's 249. At one time, I mistakenly didn't communicate this $249 initial. This is USD. I need to change this to AUD. 249 USD initial consultation. I didn't communicate it one time in the inquiry call, and it wasn't on the landing page. I sent her a link to go do it. She didn't expect it to be paid. She started to get cold feet, like she felt like she was being taken advantage of, like I was just suddenly like charging money to her that is like wasn't part of the plan. So what I did is I kind of did what you did for goodwill. I said, don't worry about it. This is my mistake. And I did the initial consultation, like $400, $500 AUD worth of my time for nothing. And then immediately I made it clear on the website. I plugged the hole. So there's two things. If you can have minimum terms, I don't think you need to, but if you do, and if you are going to do it, I would go beyond 3 months. But I would only do that like once you have like a lot of testimonials and things like that. Like Steph Lowe has a 6-month minimum, as an example. She's our nutritionist, she's a nutritionist, thyroid expert. She's in Zion. Like, I wouldn't fuck around then. I'd be like, okay, it actually takes, you guys, it doesn't take 3 months to get these results. It actually takes like 6, 12, 18 months. Number one, y'all need a landing page. I can show you my new Zion and Trinity landing pages. I think they're pretty great. 2, clear communication on the landing page, whether it's Notion or what I now use, lead pages. Clear communication. And VSLs and videos, like I show you on my screen here, are like explaining why things are the way they are. Number 3, who is the service not for? You can put on your page, on your landing page. I don't have it on this one. It's like, who is your service not for and who is it for? And then one line you would add, Sage, is, if you're not really clear on your goals, this is not for you. And the last point is, for those who aren't clear on their goals, you guys can actually help them do that. Some questions that I would ask someone who's uncertain, because I've worked with clients like that and I still work with them to this day, and they're just like the uncertain type of person. It's like, I don't really know what I want, but I'm still working with them and helping them. Is you want to ask deeper questions and go like around. Like you want to ask quite a few questions around, okay, so what are the biggest struggles and pains in your life right now? Where are you dissatisfied with your body? Where are you dissatisfied with your life? What does your dream life look like? You kind of start general, and it gives you a signal to go more specific. So you said she doesn't know really what she wanted, but I'm sure she has a goal. I'm sure she has things she cares about, problems in her life, struggles and pains. I'm sure her life isn't sunshine and rainbows. So you want to find where the rain is. And you find the rain by asking the right questions. So I'll go 2 directions, pain and pleasure, pain and dream. And with that, if they're uncertain, it is the responsibilities on you guys to help them understand more about themselves, what they could desire, where they feel their life is lacking. And for this recent client of mine, it was relationships. I help him navigate through a breakup. I have one client who's been with me for years. Came to me wanting a physique like Edward Norton, body comp goal. We still haven't achieved the goal because I found out and we uncovered that his life there was a lot of problems in his life. Stress, career, sleep deprived, dating problems, like a lot of things in the way of his health because of his very successful business. And that's not on the typical like MO of like personal training and coaching. It's like, what do you mean you're talking about his career? What do you mean you're helping him navigate dating? It's not about dating. It's about the person's, how they navigate boundaries. And their boundaries are leaking, and now they're way more stressed because they're sleep deprived because they said yes, yes, yes to temptations and instant gratification. So you understand, guys, that your coaching can expand like a web into the human, the person underneath the goal of whatever body composition. So I want to give you that encouragement, guys, to ask questions, to go deeper. And Sage, you don't have to like sell coaching from here for her, but if she's open to it, I'd send her a message. I'd send her a voice message, say, hey, I was talking to my mentor and he made a mention of this. And I thought, I actually would like to get to know you a little bit more. Do you mind sharing? And then you can ask her a few questions. And you're just doing it for practice. Who knows? Maybe you do that. I want you to send her a voice message or send her a message and ask her a few questions if she's open to it. Say, hey, would you be open to me asking you a few questions on based on the conversation I had with my mentor, blah, blah, blah. If she says yes, ask her. And see what you find. If anything, it's going to be great practice for you. And at best, maybe you realize, oh, actually, you do have a goal. All right, I spoke for quite some time. Was that okay?
No, that was really good. Thank you. Yeah. It's so funny. Like, she just seemed like this person that was just like had her shit together.
Oh.
So yeah, I find sometimes it's hard to get people to open up. Like, I asked her about, because I feel like I have quite a thorough onboarding, like talking about mental health and career and stress and everything. And she's just like, I've never had mental health issues in my life. I'm like, I just feel like I've never met anyone like that. So how would you, kind of like get someone to open up? Does that make sense?
Some people don't identify with a certain label. I won't say I've had mental health issues. If you ask me the right questions, this is a tip for coaching men. I'll answer your question fully in a second. It's a tip for coaching men. If you want them to create, if you want to be more vulnerable, if you want to understand what a man's struggling with more, he will generally not answer a generalized question. It's like, are you stressed? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? If you intuitively, specifically ask him, are you feeling insert motion? A little bit depressed, a little bit apathetic, frustrated? Like, are you feeling tension in your body? That amount of specificity, you'll be able to read if he's going to lie to you or conceal something in that moment because you've asked a specific question. So the point for you is, okay, maybe she hasn't identified as having a mental illness. Okay, I'd go a bit more specific. Okay, I'd maybe ask about anxiety, depression, like some of the more common things. Like, do you ever experience, how often do you experience anxiety? I'd go, she's a female, I'd ask her about her PMS issues. So how I'd get someone to open up is by asking them specifically where their distress in their life occurs. It's like, where in your life do you feel like dissatisfied? You keep running questions like that. Dissatisfied, unhappy, unfulfilled. After enough questions, you should find something. If anybody else has any other suggestions, feel free to share. Also, side note, we can do reactions. So you guys love something someone's saying? Boost my self-esteem with emojis. All right. Yeah, that I've used that. I've used that, Branson. I use that a bit further along. I'm gonna go. Let's talk about nutrition now, and then we're gonna talk about programming. Christian, you said you got some challenges with meal plan structure resistance. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of clients who have been making really great progress without, getting like very specific with nutrition and meal plans, but they're at a point now where, they're still wanting to see a bit more progress, but it's really calling for a lot more intentional structure to their nutrition, and they're having a lot of resistance. And it's not even just to like a meal plan; it's about it's like just getting intentional with what they're eating. And I feel like maybe it's their window of tolerance is just a bit like, I think it's a window of tolerance thing or something along those lines, but they're not really open to having any kind of structure, even if it's fairly loose. And I'm sure this is going to be like more of a belief shifting thing, but I was keen to hear how you might, what your thoughts are on that and how I could possibly approach that.
Are they getting progress on the goal?
Yes, but it's the rate of progress has now slowed to a point where they're being vocal about like, oh, I'm doing really good, but I want more, and it's not happening like it was before.
And then what do you say?
Well, then that's kind of where I get a little bit stuck. And I'm like, well, yeah, like you've done really, really well, but we're now at a point where if we want to keep up that rate of progress and you want to see like that final act come through, we need to get more intentional with what we're doing with food. And I'm speaking more about like losing body fat and like increasing energy, things like that. But they're very resistant to it, and I'm very open about, I can handle that for you. I can, create a personalized plan to where it's going to be very manageable, very easy for you, very convenient. You won't have to think about anything. It's just a matter of, just a few simple steps, and then that's it, and it's just going to happen. but they're still quite resistant to.
How does the resistance come across? Like, what are they actually saying?
Like they generally there's just like a moment of pause and like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll give it some thought.
Okay. Are you presenting without asking them a question? Like, are you asking like Socratic question, like, what do you think about that? Like, how likely do you feel like that's manageable for you? Like questions like that. Are you Socratic questioning them at the end of the speech?
Well, I kind of segue into it. Like if they make a comment like, like, oh, I want to, I still want to do this much, or I still want to see this progress happen. Then I say like, oh, well, I mentioned like we have to get intentional with food. Like, have you given any thought to maybe whether that's something you can adopt in your life right now? Like, fun a little bit of your attention, a bit of priority into food. Is that
Into
is that something you could do?
Tracking food or changing their food intake?
Well, I left it. I leave it fairly open, and I just say like, just giving a bit of thought to it and adopting a structure of some kind.
And they say
like, oh yeah, I know I should do it. And then they kind of just, they don't get. They keep it fairly like open. Like, oh, I know I should. So there's no like action words. It's like, oh,
okay.
I know, but it's still kind of avoidant.
And where do you want to get them? Like, what do you think they need?
Well, this one client I have in mind, like she wants to lose body fat. So naturally I want to put her into, I want to, go on a deficit, whether that be a bit shallower, whether it be steeper. Like I think a shallow one is perfect for her. And I think the resistance is more coming from like, she's a busy business owner, and, I think it's her window of tolerance. Like she just doesn't want another thing she has to give attention to. But yeah, that's kind of where she's like, oh, I'll think about it, but never really shows that she's like wanting to commit to it. And this has been going on for some time.
Do you do coaching calls with her and clients like this?
Not this particular client. I've positioned doing a hybrid coaching model with her, and it wasn't something she seemed interested in when I last asked or last, put it forward. So,
okay, I want you to message her this question right now. So what's her main goal?
her main goal, she wants to lose body fat.
But she's already lost some body fat. She's doing better, right?
She's done quite well, yeah.
So how far is she away from her goal?
Like 5 kilos.
Right. When your clients meet you, their desire for change might be an 8 or 9 out of 10. As time goes on, the desire for change decreases often, particularly if they see results. A lot of you guys have noticed that with your business. Oh, I have 5, 10, 15, 20 new clients now. The desire for getting out of your situation is not as strong, right? Oh, I've got stability. So you have to create a new fuel of desire to create more change, because the resistance to change can be greater. She's feeling greater resistance to change now, especially in spite of her making so much progress. She's 80% towards the goal. Now you're suggesting, well, to get the last bit, you have to do something else. And what I'm feeling and hearing is that, well, I've already got 80% of the way there. I know I should, but maybe it's not that important to me. Like 5 kilos is actually not a lot, right? It's cool, it's nice, but maybe it's not a need to have for her. So one way you can gauge this is a perception reality test. Hey, Jane, message her this now. Phrase it in however you want. Scale of 1 to 10. Just be completely honest with me. That's a very important framing question that you guys should say to people. Like, don't give me the answer I want to hear. Just like, tell me the truth. It gives people the permission to be honest. Scale of 1 to 10. how important is it to you, or how much do you desire to lose this last 5 kilos? And how does that compare to and what was that desire number when we first started working together?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want you to see, if she says an 8, now, I desire to lose these 5 kilos at an 8. Well, there's delusion and belief shifting we have to check. If she says a 3 or a 4, then I need to coach you and say, either you need to find another mode of fuel and motivation for her to desire it from a 4 to an 8. Hey, here's how that losing that 5 kilos could benefit you. That's worth more than the challenge of achieving it. Or you make peace. It's time for a new goal that you care more about. Because I don't think you need not force, you don't need to influence somebody to care about losing the last 5 kilos if they don't desire it they don't really desire it. Especially if it's not impacting their health, disease risk, quality of life in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Send her that question now. Let me know if she responds, like right now, and if she responds during the call, put it in the comments, and then I can take it from there, or I can take it in our one-on-ones as well.
Mad. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. Also, the structure and the setup of how your clients are being helped determines the outcome. People who just do face-to-face coaching with you are in a structure that is biased towards just training being the solution. This is why I talk about with all of you, like, you need more. You need more than training and fucking macros. And that's obviously why you're here. But she's in a structure and system that is biased towards one solution, training. When you're working with clients, that's why you should do hybrid, like online with nutrition and check-ins and psychology and training. Because via the behavior, it suggests that you need more than just training. So I don't think you're going to get her on that if her desire is like a 4 or a 5. So before you guys feed into the frustration of like, fuck, you guys know what it's like. It's like, I'm frustrated, my client's not doing this. Do they want it? Like, do they even desire the thing that they said that they wanted as much as you think they want? Does that make sense? So ask them. Because our goal isn't to convince people to care about things unless it's doing meaningful harm to their health. You got to auto-regulate with the client as their values and their life changes. There's a few things in the chat. Medicio, I had 2 similar situations. Did a roadmap goal setting call with them and they both... Yeah, tell us about that, Medicio.
Yeah, I had two clients, actually, they're housemates, and they came to me just wanting training first, and they were a bit resistive to the nutrition side. And I actually, in my initial form, I have that question of 1 to 10, how serious are you at this? And I think that's honestly the question that, from a sales perspective, that's the question that, and also just from a conversation in the initial consult, that's the question that gets the most out of the client, the most conversation flowing. Because most people won't put a 10, and you can always ask why not a 10? Why, what's stopping you from getting to a 10? And a lot of people are a bit unaware of where they actually sit on that scale, and what they tell you initially changes after you have a conversation with them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I find that to be really helpful. And then I do that as well. I've done it a few times with clients, a few months after, or when they start to get close to their goal, to set the next goal so they keep going. I find it to be really good for keeping the clients.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, once they reach the weight loss goal, they don't know what's next, or they don't have desire to continue to invest money and time into this. So
Yep. Great answer. So, talking retention, some of the best mentors, coaches, or the best businesses with the longest retention, they create ascension. I fucked this up in the beginning. I had no awareness. The ascension for your clients you should be thinking and planning beyond their first goal. In that initial consultation, there should be like a multi-stepped system or progression plan, like a vision, like a book. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. First, we're going to work on the body comp, then we're going to work on this, then we're going to work on this, and then it evolves. And then Sage made a great comment as well to check out, Christian. We just don't, you guys don't know like some of the things your clients are struggling with. You don't know the resistance that they could be communicating to you is actually like a signal for like, I don't love this because it reminds me of something that happened in my childhood, or I had some behavior that, like something that they haven't told you, like could be why they're having resistance. Now let's talk about, I'm actually going to go to Mauricio. So in a recent Trinity call, we were talking about how you guys capture leads. So whoever cares about leads, listen up, all of you. If you want, put in, replace pin. If you want, put in the chat your bio, and I can review your lead acquisition like strategy, and then I'll talk about programming. And Leon, you got a question about programming? I'll talk about programming. So I'm gonna look at Mauricio's now, and if you guys want me to review and analyze yours, I can do that too. I know Sage, you're talking about doing a lead magnet. Okay. So here's Mauricio's page. We will talk about with Lockie, and you guys will see it with mine, is I've previously shit on forms, okay? Particularly the forms where you click on it and you have 10 questions. Exception, like Trinity is an exception to that rule, like it's just different. It's not coaching, right? You want to make you want to make your business like effortless. Click to buy. I had a client just recently start to work with me. I didn't need to get an inquiry call with him. We did a couple of voice messages, and he clicked to start my free trial, booked in the initial consult, and that was that. Effortless. You don't need to speak to your prospects unless you need to. To get them to that place, we want to also make it effortless. So I click on Coach Kennett's, and we've made some adjustments. One question to see how I can help you become the best athlete possible. The goal here is just to capture information and capture semi-warm leads. I click start. There's a multiple choice question that helps him understand the pain and the problem. You guys can see the one in my bio as well. And then contact information. And then from there, you should call them. You can also direct people to a landing page, particularly if you have quite a bit of lead flow and your landing page is good and solid. But if you don't have that yet, like Mauricio had nothing in his bio because we've been growing his in-person business and hybrid business. So let's look at that. He asked me to review it. All right. Every word you decide to pick confers meaning and has an ability to influence. Limited spots. No. Remove that. There might be limited spots. Technically, it's true. Everybody has a limit. but it's like a word that has lost meaning now. When things are repeated, they lose meaning, and they can even have a flavor of salesiness. So, if there's actually limited spots, like, okay, I'm not going to do it. You go to Trinity, it's like, there's clearly limited spots. There isn't limited spots because we want to take as many clients as you possibly can, particularly now that we're doing a semi-private model. Okay? So unless genuinely you only have, like, I can 2 more, that's it. But you don't need to communicate it. Apply below. What if they're not ready to apply? So that's further along that language in the buying process. Instead, I would use something like learn more or inquire. It's less committal. People don't want to make commitments until they're ready to make commitments. Especially when every time you guys open your phone, there's 70 ads. And you can't even tell anymore if they're real humans or if they're AI. AKA, I just got out of, if you guys saw my last post, I just got out on bail. Thankfully. That may not mean anything if you haven't seen my last post. So I want to change that, Mauricio. Lockie gets it. Thank you for the emoji. If you pay for Typeform, remove in the settings, like the Typeform logo that just popped up. All right. What is your most important outcome? Let's be more specific here. Let's use the word goal. Also, what do you guys notice about... just tell me one thing you notice already. What do you notice? Maybe my question's too vague. Any feedback?
Multiple choice, like it's
not
maybe
bad.
like instead of making them type what they want to say, like and they can be vague. It's giving him like them options to choose from, which might give him a better answer to work off.
Yeah, multiple choice is good. It's a generally better conversion in filling out a form instead of typing. But choose as many as you like. All right. I was going to say the font. This is a small detail, but you want to make things really easy to read, and it just looks a bit strong. It just looks a bit too strong. I would just make it simple. Make it very easy on the eyes. And I've fucked this up, not fucked it up, but I've made it the opposite. My Trinity page used to be like all matrix text. Y'all know. I had the matrix code behind it. I was so in the ethos of like that I got in the way of just making a really good landing page. But yeah, bro, if they can't that, I don't want to joke with you. Maybe it's a test. No, they can read it. The point is, I would just change the font. I think it's just a bit too strong. I just do a typical normal font. What is your most important outcome? I changed the word outcome for goal. See if you're a right fit. It's true. It's true. But I don't think you need to add this. I think it's too far along in the coaching process. An inquiry call or a get to know you call is to see we're the right fit. All right. I want to look better naked, improve my body composition. I want all in coach that will guide me to my best self, training, nutrition, mindset. I want to reduce and prevent injuries increase. Cool. Now you just have to make sure, Mauricio, these are your most common. Yeah, cool, good. And it's good that you have another. These are the most common things that you see. Great. Simple. And then ideally this should redirect to a landing page. Mine redirects to... Now this is quick. I set this up quick. I'm not saying this is the best. This is just I needed a quick solution. This doesn't have a VSL, but yeah, that's good. Oh no, it's right here. Ideally, we would have a VSL here that's like a minute long. So after you fill in the form, it redirects to this. I understand some of you don't want to get on a long video call being sold something you're not sure about. Same. My tone is really conversational. I think it breaks the ice way better. 2 options for you. Quick 10-minute phone call, or you can message me directly and I can see how I can help. I can see how I can help. They're filling it in because they want help. That's just context. They're built on intimacy, exclusivity, and they possess streamers. If you're that and want to know more about how I can help you, you're welcome to book in. You're welcome to. Invitational. A quick 10-minute phone call, no video call. Everybody's doing video calls. I'm not doing video calls anymore for like these ones. Really low committal. Or message me with whatever questions you have. It's like super open. I've had a few bookings from this, and most importantly, or most interestingly, the form in my bio, I don't have, like, I haven't been posting much, so it's not like I have I'm driving a lot of traffic, okay? But this form right here, I need to change this, get the matrix out. This form right here has resulted in more inquiries in the absence of when I've been posting the least in like the last year. So, and also my mentors are doing similar stuff as well. So it seems to be working better. You just want to help your guys and girls get from A to Z, meaning you get their contact information so you can see if you can help them the fastest. Any questions or thoughts, or anybody want me to review theirs? Stop sharing. I'll give you a second. Once.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So would you do this instead of a lead magnet, or both?
Both. Hormozy said to me, he said that, look, just pick one call to action in your bio. For you, Sage, like specifically for you, even many of you, I would consider doing both, like give goodwill and give people an option to work with you. It's only 2 options. I just wouldn't make your bio like fucking 5-6 links of overwhelm in the supermarket.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the form in place of the landing page, or is it better to have the landing page? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going through a lot of data points. I'm scanning my brain. Okay. The first question you need to ask yourself is, do you have a really good landing page? No. Who has a really good landing page? Like, it's like, I put a lot of effort in, I listened to you or this and that person, I looked at this page and I put a lot of effort in, and I think my landing page is pretty good. How about that? Pretty good. Lockie? Well, yep. We've worked on that. Okay. If that's not the case, then the landing page won't do the job that you want it to do. So for all of you then, you want to make it easy. The 1 question form. When your landing page, and if you guys want, I can show you the new ones that I've made, and I'll tell you. So one of my mentors is Reese, and Reese is like critical. Like he'll be harsh with you. Like I'm nice to you guys in comparison, until GI Saad comes out. GI Saad is not as nice. He loved it. He really liked both of my landing pages, so that's cool. Tick. I looked at James Smith's, and I looked at Eugene's, and I'll get Eugene's feedback as well, and spent dozens of hours working on it. In my case, I can give somebody this landing page, and I'm confident that it will get a positive outcome more than not. I mean, Leon, I sent Leon a Google Doc. I sent some of you a Google Doc about what Zion is. So, like, you don't have to have a really nice looking landing page, but you guys are competing in quite a saturated market. Let me tell you, if you feel like something that confers like value and is really easy to read and helps develop trust, and if you can create your own version of this, which is way shorter than my other landing pages, then this can do the selling for you. But until that point, what I would do is I'd have your form, and I'd call them immediately. And if they don't pick up, then I'd message them, and then you want to see how you can help. And then from there, you can book them into another call, like a little bit more of a sales call. It's like how I can help you. And in between that time, that's when you send that landing page.
Yeah. Okay. I think like what I was wondering is like, is it worth to going to the effort and putting in all that time to make the landing page, because it would be inherently better than just having the form, and like that way,
Yeah.
everything's all in one place.
Yeah,
of, like,
absolutely. Yes, the
what I'm
answer is
actually
yes.
doing. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. If any of you are planning to be a coach for more than like another year, yes, which is all of you, your landing page will be like an evergreen, forever asset that will do one of the most influential jobs at influencing prospects to work with you. All right. Yeah, so I'll put a link into lead pages. It's a referral link, full transparency. I've tried a lot of pages before, and it's just been my favorite. In Zion, just type in the word landing page, and you'll see like the basic structure. What you can do is just copy and mimic the structure of people's landing pages who are really good. So look at mine, but then go higher. Who's doing like tens of millions of dollars? Because they would have spent very diligently have picked what they've picked. Eugene TL looked at James Smith's page. I know this. So I got mentors looking at my other mentors. It's quite funny. And I'll answer your question. What was your question, Sage? Your question was like, why is Reese posting 1 million pieces of content?
Yeah, like at the moment, I think he's posting like 20 times a day or something. He's aiming to get to like 750 pieces of content or something like that.
Yeah. Y'all want to do that? As lead pages. He's trying to make 30 million, as he said, he's trying to make $30 million a year. And there's 4 major anchors and levers in business. There's awareness, there's client delivery, there's awareness, conversion, client delivery, and retention. Everybody's problem here, including Reese's, including mine, is awareness. He went to go see Hormozy. Hormozy told him, if you don't, and I know this because I've spoken to Reese about this, if you don't move with violence, you will be replaced, or someone bigger will come along and eat you. And he's very driven monetarily. And to fix his awareness problem, he's going to post hundreds of times a week across different platforms. But I have another mentor who is even more successful, who says, and who has plenty, is nearly 1 million followers, and he says, you don't need to post every day. So there's different strategies, guys. There's the move with violence, like drown out the world, be louder, post more, which you guys all would benefit more if you posted more because you don't have the reps in to even understand what great content is. And then there's tell really great stories, make really good quality content that connects with your audience, be honest and be authentic and be yourself. Both work. But volume, if it's good, like volume is undefeated. It's just undefeated. But if you're constrained on time, then you need to tell really great stories as well. All right. Welcome. Oh, and you can also just pay for awareness. If you have money, you just like put money into ads, and you can also pay for awareness. So you don't have to always do it organic. Who did this recently? Yeah. I seen like Kim Kardashian's brand, Skims, like they put a ton of money into marketing. Tesla are very famous for not putting barely any money into marketing. I don't think they've ever done an ad. So their business is like mainly like word of mouth from customers. I know coaches who don't do really social media anymore. I've mentored them and I'm colleagues with them. And they have such great word of mouth because they've coached so many people and transformed so many lives. They've reached a tipping point where all the word of mouth is doing the talking for them. And they have muchos money, muchos dinero. It's making a lot of impact. So hopefully it gives you guys hope that you don't have to conform to any one like system, and that ultimately you should find the system that allows you to make the change you want to make in the most effortless way possible. That is the most enjoyable as well. Because if it's more enjoyable, you will also be more adherent to it. So you can't see it. I spent $5,000 on a new camera because I was sick of that thing. Because I was sick of having to create a new setup every time I wanted to film content, from my calls to like the content creation. So to remove that barrier for myself, I just bought equipment. It just sits there. I did not want to spend it. I just want to have a thought and a feeling. I want to create this. I'm very much like that, like spontaneous, like streams of consciousness. And if you're like that, you really want to have an area where you can just sit down, hit a button and hit record. It makes creating content way easier. Way easier. So that's an example of making things effortless for yourself. All right. Questions, thoughts, emojis? Nice. Nice. All right, Kobe. You want to make programming easier? What do you? What's going on with you in programming?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I think you had a challenge around programming. Is that right? Could you tell everybody what that is?
Yeah. So with this being the first week, so I'm meeting a lot of people on the floor, but it's sort of all ages. So I'm getting people, into their 60s versus into their 20s, 30s. And so it's sort of something to factor in I haven't really worked with many sort of older people first, like 50 plus sort of thing. I've worked with a lot of young athletes, for example. So it's a bit different. It's not something I'm not capable of at all, but it's probably working a lot more isometric and sort of safer exercises, sort of easier ones to teach. So
Yep.
looking at like your leg press or like your goblet squats to start off with, but it's sort of something like I thought, it'd be cool to discuss.
Okay.
Versus someone my age, you can sort of teach them, you can go straight into your goblet squats, your trap bar, your RDL, things like that.
So is the problem like how to do the programming, or that there's a lot of programming I have to do?
No, not the fact there's a lot to do. It's more just the most effective way to look at, to look after someone, to have someone feel comfortable, but appropriate exercises for probably people in the older demographic. So
Yeah. Okay.
I've got someone today that's had like a knee replacement. He's still fit. He's fit and firing, and he's riding every week. But to work around that is a lot different to work around, like a 30-year-old that might just have your typical wear and tear.
Okay. Think of Branson. Anybody who has thoughts and comments on this who have trained elderly, put it in. I know you train a lot of young people, Branson, but I thought of your mind for this question. So when you guys are programming, Kobe, and for this sense, you want to filter your decision-making through principles. It doesn't matter if it's blood work, it doesn't matter if it's programming and nutrition. You want to make decisions based off principles, which allows you to save time and decision-making. For example, there's a certain amount of money that I don't get on a call for. And that's the same with you. Like, you're not going to do it. Maybe you don't do a session for like $30. You'll work for free, or if it doesn't hit this amount, you don't do the session. So principles for programming, they are cross-generational, across all demographics. It's really helpful if you write your principles down because they inform your programming. Let's use, I'm going to share my program template, okay? Trinity, you guys all have these. If anybody wants them, just tell me. So this is a GenPop GPP. This is built based on principles that I've learned from my degree, but more particularly like practical experience, like working with people like my mentors, like learning from Strong First, learning from Christian, etc. So let's go some general principles. I could apply this to an elderly person, but I'll tell you how I would change some things. So starting off our programs with compound movements. Okay? Generally a pretty sound principle. Compound movements that are more centrally fatiguing. So we don't get to the end of the program, we're doing the most fatiguing things last. Okay, I should say, it's not free, guys. Sorry. My spreadsheet systems aren't free, but I'll send you a link. Sorry if I made it sound that way. But I'll send you a link anyway. You can take a look. So that's number one, principles. Ground-based, full kinetic chain. I use a lot of supersets. That's another principle of mine, like economy of time. Agonist-antagonistic. So that could be like right here. Like we have this is not the superset, but this is an example. It could be back and chest. This in this case is legs and back. You can separate it, but generally for time efficiency for a Gen Pop client, they're not looking to we don't need to max out their rest when they're just learning the motor pattern. So that's another principle, Kobe. Foundational, motor pattern learning of foundational movements. What are our foundational movement patterns? Our hinge, our squat, our push, our pull, our row, and our reach. Reach is often neglected. Do I have reach here? I have an overhead. There you go, reach, landmine press. So what you do, and what you guys want to do, is and I have the same thing for nutrition. And we teach this in Zion and Trinity, like we have principles for you. And then you want to create templates. I used to be super anti-template. I used to be like an anti-template zealot. I thought I was a better coach. Anybody ever felt this? I thought I was a better coach because I was personalizing. I'm writing this program for an hour. I spent an hour on this client's program. You're idiot. You're stupid. Not you stupid. I mean, we're all a little bit stupid. But I was praising myself on the wrong thing. We want to get results. It does not matter how long it takes you or me. I use the bloodwork software I use because it compresses time and it helps me get better results. Templates are the same thing. What you then do is you then adjust. So this is my GPP template. I can apply this to the elderly. What I might change? Give me a suggestion, guys. I might not do a barbell RDL because perhaps the motor control or the lumbopelvic control, or certain, maybe they have back pain, like it just may not work for them as well. What could I replace the barbell RDL with? How could I regress this? What's a principle I could regress this by? This should be bread and butter for y'all.
Could go something as simple as just using the trap bar. I know it's more quad based than the typical RDL, or you could just go to the Smith machine.
Yep.
If you still want to keep that sort of RDL in there, I suppose it just takes the balance away.
Great. You're thinking along the right chance. And the principle of that is, so you guys, the exercise is right. You're like regressing it intelligently. And the principle is improving external stability. So how we would work with the elderly, and funnily enough, this also actually applies to adolescents, is you create external stability to reduce motor control requirements. So it could be, yes, a Smith machine. It could be a dumbbell. Did a lot of that with when I coached adolescents. So with your elderly, with your adolescents, with your injured, with your disabled, you're often, one core principle is creating external stability. Now, with our athletes, Lockie, Mauricio, like principles, well, priming and resiliency is a principle. Isometric, we're doing a lot of isometrics because we're doing, what's the principle? Okay, we want a strong lower shank. We want a resilient lower shank, so lower parts of the body. We want good RSI, which is basically, that's not a principle, but that's an outcome. That's how quick you are off the ground and how forceful you are off the ground, like the time and the force. So plyometrics and power, like they're a core principle of athletic programming. Okay, you just interchange the exercise and progress it up, but the principle comes first. And another principle is we start off with the isometrics. Why? Because they create inhibition. What does that mean? Like that, if you ever have pain, you have a pain in like tendon pain, starting with isometrics at the beginning of a program, we know from research from Dr. Ebony Rio that 3 sets of 45 to 60 seconds of isometrics at about 65 to like 70%, 1 RM, can decrease pain sensation for like an hour. So instead of not putting the exercise in, so this is good for you, Kobe, because you got elderly with pain. Any clients with pain, like if I got knee pain, you might do single leg isometric knee extension. Calf can also help with that because we have some of the calf insert behind the knee, but like foot as well, like foot pain, we could go tib-ant, tibialis anterior, we could go calf, seated or standing, depends if you want to hit the gastrocnemius or the soleus. So point is, principle, pain reduction, principle starting off with power and plyometrics to begin with, then going into our compounds, then going into our isolated, then going like trunk. So, I've gone beyond the question, obviously. Do you feel you have more clarity or there's still a little bit of confusion?
Definitely more clarity. Everything you said there is stuff I've touched on, and it's sort of just bringing it back. And for me, it's just more about making them comfortable, but also me comfortable with my programming for them. Because before any outcome, safety is so most important.
Yeah.
because without safety, what you're doing is just nonsense if there's no safety to it. Yeah,
So is comfortability or safety the thing you want to work on more here?
just the very beginning, just to make sure, like getting to know someone. For example, so once you sort of know how they move and where they're at, then it's a bit different. You can sort of branch out a little bit, but just the very beginning. If for example, like today, I've got someone, um, and it's the first session, and I'm just taking them through a few things. I just want to be like on top of it, for example.
Do you have a system yet of how you take people through their first session?
Yeah, but I've got a pretty basic system that I'm moving towards that I'm keeping pretty similar for most clients at the moment.
Yeah. And that's taking them through some basic movement patterns?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And
big
just
six?
sort of whether they need to learn how to move or whether they already know how to move, it's taking them through and sort of seeing where they're at through those movements.
Great. So that's
Yeah,
comfortability. You're scaling it back.
yeah,
You're focusing on basic principles. Safety. Knowing you, I see zero problems with you being safe. And it's
yeah,
comfortability in their body. And I think, I don't know if you're talking about this, it's also comfortability of the energy and the space that you create for them,
yeah.
how they feel under your presence of coaching. And is that something that you're at all mindful or worried about, or you feel pretty good about that?
I'd say I'm aware, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I feel like I'm a comfortable person to be around.
Yeah,
I'm social enough, so it's not robotic.
yeah,
And I suppose that will really break out like once you get to work with someone for a period of time. It's way more of almost like a friendship connection sort of thing, as opposed to
yeah,
like working with someone, if that makes sense. But at the
yeah.
start, it's sort of like, yeah, but it also depends on the person. If they're really approachable and social, then I'll just switch into who I really am.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get it. There's like different parts of you that you begin to express. Okay. Uh, Anything else about programming that you want to clarify or touch on?
That's pretty good for today. Yeah, that's everything. I'm pretty happy we touched on that and looked at the principles behind it and
Yeah.
sort of breaking it down to simplify it.
If there's one suggestion I can make for all of you is start developing templates. So when I would write a new program for a client, I would put that into a template. And then meal plans are the same, or nutrition guidance, like it's all save you a lot of time and it's more effective.
Appreciate your help. That really that clarifies a few things, which is really handy.
You're welcome. You're welcome, brother. Anything you need. All right. Nathan, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, my man. Good energy.
What's happening?
All right. Where's your face? Oh, there you are. Let's go. All right. So you've had a good win. You said you went hard on content for 2 weeks, signed 4 clients?
A 4 month or 1 4 month client. So that's like my one-on-one coaching over the 4 months.
Uh-huh.
Then I had 2 blood works I did.
Uh-huh.
I had 2 more people get their blood work done in preparation to have like their one-off consult with me. And then I've got like 4 or 5 people that are keen to work with me. So pretty good.
Blessings, man. That's great. Okay, so was it a piece of content that worked really well that helped you get those leads in, or something else?
It was like at some points I was doing 3 posts a day. So I was just like trying to do like a bit of a content challenge over 2 weeks and just playing around with what works. So I just wanted to like sort of use that as like a 2 week period of what content's going to work best for myself. So I was doing like green screen videos, like thread style posts or like Twitter style posts, just writing with like a bit of, and I found that as well, like, because a lot of people do like just chat GPT threads posts. And I just wanted to bring my personality across in that writing. And I find that really helped open up convo and just like humanized it,
How did you do that?
which was good as well. So
How did you do that? How did you bring your personality across? That's great.
just talk like I usually do, just like talk shit basically. That's how I usually talk with like clients, just like as a blokey, friendly, like as I would work, because I used to work on a construction site. I know how blokes talk to each other, so just kept it simple, not too technical, and just like a friend would speak to someone, you know what I mean? Not like a chat GPT, obviously written support, response.
Absolutely. You be a human being.
Exactly.
Okay. So, was there any particular post that did really well that got you leads?
One of them did really well just for opening up conversations. It was on varicocele. So it's like if you go, there's a varicocele post. Yeah, that one. That one did really well just for opening up combos. Because a lot of guys message me, like even guys I used to go to school with message me and they're like, oh, bro, I got diagnosed with this 3 months ago, 6 months ago. And all these other people were like, holy shit, I have this, but I never knew it could cause problems.
Right here is one of the most overlooked causes of infertility and low testosterone in men.
So, it's strong hook.
Yeah.
If you just said infertility, you would have lost a few men because there's plenty of young men who don't care about that yet. But you said testosterone, so you recaptured them.
Yeah.
Not only that, Nathan has a visual hook. You guys see that? So
yeah, I try to use everything. It's like text hook, visual hook,
Good.
captions.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything in that one green screen.
Right, that's a good teaching lesson. So for you guys, notice, when people do those reviews of like, not reviews, it's like, here's Diet Coke and here's how all those aspartame's going to kill you. It's often with real Coke and like they bring in like 100 Cokes. So they've spent out like, I don't know, $300 for a 3-second prop. Now they have 1 million views and it went well. So 3 hooks here. No, there's 4. There's your face, there's the photo, there's the text, and then there's the voice. Let's look at the performance.
Right here is one.
Performance did the best. I'd repost this on TikTok. I would remake this content with different hooks as well.
Right here is one of the most overlooked causes of infertility and low testosterone in men, and you've probably never heard about it. Varicocele is basically varicose veins in your balls. Veins get
I like that delivery. That's funny.
Yeah.
enlarged.
Friendly and it's not too sciencey. It's like
Yeah.
people understand, okay, this is what it is. You know what I mean?
Good.
Blood flow starts to slow, heat starts to build up. Heat is the enemy of testosterone and sperm. It does not just affect your sperm quality, it ramps up oxidative stress, lowers testosterone, can leave you with an aching or heaviness downstairs. This is the most crazy part. You've probably never heard of this, but this affects 15 to 20% of adult males. Varicocele is found in almost 40% of cases of infertility in men. A client came to me, he's having infertility issues and
I'm glad you didn't start with this. The hook on my Retatrutide video didn't do well, I suspect because I started with this. I just blanked. I didn't... Oops. The case study came after. The my client stuff came after. That's good.
testosterone issues for many years. And of course, his doctor said his bloods look normal, and he said fixing his varicocele would not help his issues. Of course, I was extremely unhappy with this answer, and we had to get this checked out.
The video is very tight. The video is quite tight up until this point. If you look at it's hard to make a video that's like on point retention.
Yeah, yeah.
But just for some feedback, they're little filler words, little filler sentences, like, of course I was this and that. Omit.
Yeah.
Omit.
Yeah.
This is the importance of a second opinion. As you can see, he's gone and seen a specialist, and that specialist has gone against what the doctor had to say.
Okay, what I'm seeing already now is this could be 2 videos. This could be 2 videos. You've put 2 videos in one. You're trying to be extensive, and that's fine. But you could have ended 20 seconds ago. And why that actually benefits you guys to make shorter videos sometimes, or just more concise videos, more succinct videos, is because it improves... If an algorithm sees that people are watching it longer, they recommend it to more people.
And I'm sure the doc could have done a simple Google search and found this out themselves. If you're suffering from low T, infertility issues, or a dull ache downstairs, go and get it checked out. Get yourself checked for varicocele. Finding out this could be the missing piece in your health journey. Right here is...
There's a very small percentage of people that will watch all the way to the end, but they're typically the warmest people.
Yeah.
I don't think you should end every video in a verbal call to action, but one like this, you could do something soft, like if you want some help getting to the bottom of it, feel free to message me.
Yeah.
You have something more direct here, which is cool. Did any people send this?
Yeah. Probably had like 10 or 12 people reach out.
Really? And what was the result of that?
Nobody signed. Some of them were previous just friends that I've grown up with, and I've just told them to maybe investigate it a bit further. Others were just like, I never even knew this could cause issues down the track. But I think it was more the awareness piece of realizing that it could cause issues down the track. And I mean, yeah, just conversation started, but I mean, that's a good thing as well.
Yeah. I think what this piece has the potential to do, I think you could remake this piece a few times. And if we work on a script and like I give you feedback every time, I think this piece has a potential to do quite well, as in be your most popular piece, because it's about a novel topic. It's about something that a lot of men experience, but they don't have a language for it, so they can resonate with it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's going to be the thing that gets you the conversions because it's so specific. And you're not
100%.
necessarily going to solve that problem because, like you said, you need a urologist.
Exactly.
But this is the difference between like top of funnel awareness content.
Right here.
Solid.
That's what I'm fixing this week. I hate my my funnel is shit house. So I've also been like, because I think of how I like to go through a funnel, and sometimes I just don't want. I'd like to have a phone call before I have a video call, and even that, just like getting more information, just signing up on an email and then just getting an email about the information. That's how I like going progressing through.
Did you just say that you like to if you don't want a video call, you want a phone call, or you just want to like peruse like info first? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's like you taste tester first, and then you get like all the information, and then it's like, okay, I want to progress on this. I want to get on this call, because it's like most people now don't want to be heavily sold to, and all the sales tactics are all over TikTok and Instagram. They just want to have a convo.
Yeah.
And I just think it's better, I guess, selling in a way that I like to be sold to. I find that it works better. It's more natural when people are pre-sold on the call as well.
Exactly. Good. So in that case, your funnel should reflect that, especially you, because you get a decent amount of leads from online. This should be at the top of your list here.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment, is just tidying that up and making it simple, getting rid of a lot of that shit, and then just doing, I guess, lead magnets on my stories as well. So
yeah, shit. Yeah,
and it feels too wordy as well for me. Like, I just want to keep it simple.
I get it. I really get it, and I used to do that. Now I have to fight against myself to
give a shit. Like, I've been sending a Notion doc now, just because it's like, here's what's involved.
Bro, I scrolled for so long.
Yeah, I know.
45 minutes? Bro, if I'm not booking 45 minutes, I'm busy.
Exactly. So that's why I'm tidying up. Because that was my, like, another mentor I worked with, that was their thing. It's like, get on a 45-minute call.
Oh, geez. I get it.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. It gives you the time and space to really work with somebody, but you don't need to do everything in one go, guys. It's like,
no, I know.
You message, then you voice message. You start dating. All right. Maybe we don't have sex within the first minute of meeting.
Exactly.
That's a good.
So that's why I'm working on my funnel, because I'm starting to realize like how annoying, because I sign up for some stuff online and then it's like, hey, book in a 45-minute call, and I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you now. Like, fuck off. I just like, you just don't want to be sold to by some salesman on the phone call. So I'm like, I need to implement that into my business. I do enough work in the voice messages, but
you do.
Obviously,
Yeah, no, you're doing well. You're growing. Your page is growing. I would, if it's a decision between like creating more content or fixing the funnel, I'd fix the funnel.
Yeah, 100%. Because I got the leads coming in. It's just like converting them.
You guys should follow Nathan's page. Is he's doing good work. Y'all should follow each other because that's nice. All right, y'all. Is there anything else lingering? Any last quick question y'all want to share or ask, or anything you want? Requests?
I'm aware of time, but I sent you a post that I'm planning to make on WhatsApp.
Let's go.
It's just a draft, but I think it might help create more awareness, especially for like new followers or just people that don't know me very well.
Yeah, you want to share your story, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, number one, it seems to not be very common for the XX chromosome, just the males, to make things that look very good. So I want you to go to, I did this for Clem, and it seemed to help him. I want you to watch this video. This video here, how to make your Instagram content look aesthetic and sexy. It just teaches you basic principles of like graphic design and typography, and you'll realize that this looks like bananas in pajamas type of typography, and you know, with the little curve. Hey, y'all know bananas in pajamas? I haven't said that in years. Most of your content look. Sarah knows. Sarah, we're not. We same generation. All right, I put the video in the chat. All right. It's a good photo of you. I would start off with a better hook. Just get a girlfriend. She will help you. Yeah, true. Yeah, but I've told Mauricio no mas chicas. That's actually that's actually good advice. Ask females around you. If you're like walking the street and see a female who's dressed well, like you can just say, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm actually kind of serious, but just like ask females. Sarah's in here. She might have a good eye for design. He would be fighting them off. He would be. You know, he's a model. He's a pretty boy. All right. Start with a hook. The temptation is like to say I, or to say my story. Here, this is going to be a video.
Look like this anymore. And it's not just that I'm carrying.
This is quite personal. Actually, I think I did a good job of it. If you're going to say I, make sure you can try and relate it back to people. Because this is like success, achievement. Most people think that's a dream, relatability, and then like a pattern break. Oh, this one. That's an open loop. Then I realized there was something much more valuable. I could improve this a little bit, but you just kind of get the idea. I would just start with a hook. Let's keep going. As a kid, soccer was... All right. So what you can do here is instead of doing this ugly outline, make things simpler. Now, I know that's harder to read. Also, don't orient right to left. Typically go left to right because people read left to right. And then what you can do is you can go grab... Oops. You can grab black and then put this across and then make it black and then make it transparent and then put it behind by pressing Command. I don't know the button. It's next to the letter P. Now we can read it and it's not as busy. All right. I'll critique the text more. As a kid, soccer was my life. That was my dream. Go pro, make it. People said that I had talent, but they also said I was skinny, not strong. Deep down, I knew this is better. I would lean way more into this. Like really tap in. Like, what were you actually feeling? Like, how did that feel? Right? Talk about what that insecurity felt like, or whatever that is, because that's where your prospects are at. That they feel like that. People want to be able to see themselves in you. That's why I try and remind you guys, like, the thing, like, it didn't do too well, which is fine, But it did well with the people who it connected with. Like Christian messaged me, he's like, man, that's a fucking great post. Like, I didn't know that. Like the one where I stole food, I don't know where it is. Like I used to steal food. Like I didn't always used to have fucking New York City views, right? I didn't have much money. So relatability, how it felt. Then I copped injury after injury. Never played a full season in my teens. I was frustrated and unable to do the thing I love most. Lean into the frustration more. Lean into what that feels like. Great photo. Great photo. One day I had enough. I walked into the strength and conditioning gym. Okay, omit unnecessary details. Eugene was ruthless with me on this shit. Remove gym. Remove Melbourne. It's like unnecessary context. You guys add way too much context. Context should be established like within like a few words or one line. Still something I am even like putting effort into it, always improve, because I want to tell more. Less. I didn't know it then, but change everything. You can make that sentence more brief. For the first time I felt strong, not just on the field, but in my head. Talk about what that more felt like. Strong. Is that like confidence? I became obsessed with learning, training. The text changes too much. It should be one. It should be uniform. Understanding how to build an unbreakable body. Studied sports science. Some of the. Okay, this is fine, but it's all about you. I just be mindful about that. I was just trying things. Oh, okay, fine. You're just experimenting. It's all about you. I try to bring this back to why people should care. Bruv. Yeah, well, ChatGPT shouldn't write your story. I know you want getting help, but it shouldn't write your story. At 19, I started coaching. I didn't care about money. I cared about impact. I coached anyone who would listen. All right. Forget mentioning these companies, because think about if a person who doesn't know you reads this. That's the thing. James Smith does a really good job at this. He does this all the time. Think about if a person you don't know is reading it. You need to be able to like communicate to them. This shit. I used to post every time I grew 1,000 followers. 5,000 meant a lot. Go watch some of his because they do quite well actually. That. Lean into that. That needs to be told earlier. The broken. Yeah, that's. The sentiment is good. The sentiment is good, Mauricio. Don't put a photo of your logo. Put a photo of you, like now, of like current times. To give others what I wish I had when I was younger. I would go more specific into what you truly give people. It's beyond knowledge and support. No problem, Leon. Leon, you got your own story here that you should tell as well. All right? You all do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Thank you for today, bros.
You're welcome. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. We're done here. That was a quick little extra 8 minutes. So there you go.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna work on it today.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
That's all right. We're all done, guys. Peace and love to all of you. I'm going to put a spot in the Zion where you can watch the replays. And I'll see you on the next one. And it was great to see y'all. Good energy. Love you all. Peace.